Up-and-coming 168-pound fighter David Morrell Jr. believes a fight with Canelo would be more difficult than a fight with David Benavidez. David Morrell hasn't faced any elite level competition just yet. All right, he's up and coming, he's new. But he does believe no one should be rated above him at 168 pounds. Rightfully so, right? Nobody should believe they're better than you. Ranking the super middleweight division is subjective, but in the eyes of many, David Benavidez and Canelo Alverez are both viewed as the best 168 pounders around. Canelo Alverez has held his position as the division's top dog for nearly half a decade, with the Mexican star holding every major world title. He's currently shifting through the rest of the super middleweight landscape for the best available opponent. David Benavidez, WBC's interim champion, has done his best to prove that he's worthy contender with back-to-back wins over Caleb Plant and Demetrius Andrade. David Benavidez is patiently waiting his turn. I want to give my thoughts on this situation. What up, y'all? What's going on? Much love, peace, and blessings. Shout out to everybody checking into the channel. And I want to kind of talk today a little bit about which fighter do I believe would be a tougher opponent? I saw that interview and I saw the article, and it made me just want to get in here and talk about it a little bit. Both of these fighters are unique. They're different. They have different sets of skills, and I want y'all to tell me down in the comment section who you think is a tougher opponent. Do you think if you was in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, do you think he'll be tougher to beat, or do you think David Benavidez would be? And I have a couple of reasons and a couple of points that I want to make about this situation, and basically starting with the fact that this is the first thing. Canelo Alvarez is also a pressure fighter, just like David Benavidez is. They both like to control the ring, move forward, and make things tough on their opponents. Now, I will say this. Canelo Alvarez has already lost before, okay? It wouldn't be his first loss if you was to get in the ring with him and try to get the win over him. He's also lost a few times recently, okay? He lost to Bivol. Of course, everybody know he's lost to Floyd Mayweather early in his career. But the blueprint is out on how to beat Canelo Alvarez, okay? He's had a couple of iffy wins, and he's lost, of course. So we've seen him get in there and lose before, but we've never seen David Benavidez lose before, okay? So David Morrell isn't picky as long as his next opponent brings some sort of name and recognition. He's more than willing to face either of them. In a perfect world, however, Morrell would rather take on Benavidez or Alvarez. In terms of who he believes would give him more of a difficult time in the ring, Morrell thought long and hard before giving an answer, and his answer was, it's a hard question. He says, but I think maybe Canelo. Ironically enough, Benavidez, not Alvarez, who is basically the one who Morrell was targeting. And he basically says Benavidez is hard too, pause. And he thinks they're both great fighters. So, in my personal opinion, Canelo Alvarez appears to be the better boxer, okay? He appears to have better boxing skills. He seems like he has a lot of control over his body, over his upper body. Good upper body movement. He has a decent jab. He got a great left hook. And he's definitely a pressure fighter that puts pressure on opponents and makes things tough on them. So we have to put that into consideration. David Benavidez, on the other hand, is a much taller fighter. He's going to have a much bigger height advantage, a bigger reach advantage. But I don't necessarily know if David Benavidez's skill set is as good as Canelo's, but I do think David Benavidez is basically a more, I don't know, I feel like he's a more grittier fighter. I feel like he got a lot more in him. I think he's a bit tougher, in my personal opinion, when it comes down to if you had to be in there with a guy like that, he's going to wait. He's going to wait for the perfect time for you to start to get a little bit tired. And late in the fight, he's going to start to put the pressure on you. And he's going to hit you with very, very hard shots. And if he can land them, it could be a quick night for you. And we've seen that happen time and time again where guys thought they can outbox. You know what I mean? They thought they can outbox him. But then later in the fight, he was to walk guys down. Now, in my personal opinion, I think if David Benavidez was to move up to try to fight guys like Dimitri Bivol or guys like Artur Beterbiev or something like that, or those guys in or around that weight class, I think it could be a problem. I don't think those guys up there are going to have too big of a problem with Benavidez's size. I think they'll be able to take care of business for now. And I'm pretty sure eventually he's going to be able to move up and settle into that weight class. He's got the height for it. He's got the frame for it. I think he'll be just fine. But as of right now, I think that that wouldn't be a good idea. We did a video about that. But when it comes down to Canelo and David Benavidez, I'm not so sure, man, that Canelo Alverez is gonna allow David Benavidez to really, turn up heavy late in the fight. I think Canelo Alvarez should be able to. He's skilled enough. He's experienced enough to really be able to get in there and make things tough, even late in the fight. You know what I mean? But it still remains to be seen. Will Canelo Alvarez get in there with him? You know what I'm saying? Will he accept that match and get in there? Who knows? He was saying things along the lines like he want to see David Benavidez, get in there with some more fighters before he get in there with him. Or is that just, Canelo just trying to duck the fade because he see how dangerous this guy is and how tall he is and how big he is in the ring. So, it is what it is on that. If I had to say which one I think was tougher, man, I mean, you can go either way. Right now, like I said before earlier in the video, we have not seen David Benavidez lose yet, but we have seen Canelo lose. So we know that we have a blueprint, and we've seen that it's doable. And if you got the right type of style, you can beat him, right? So in my personal opinion, as of right now, I would have to say David Benavidez is a tougher opponent, just based off the fact that he's extremely tough, he's extremely rough, he's extremely tall, he got long reach. I don't necessarily know if he's that great of a boxer, but we shall see. I've seen certain instances of certain fights where I would have liked to see him look a little bit better boxing skill-wise, but I think him and his team, they usually draw up the right game plan, for him to be able to tire guys out and pretty much get the stoppage late in the fight. So, that's just my thoughts and opinions on this situation. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comment section how you feel about it. This your boy Get a Mic. Much love, peace, and blessings, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.